Hi, I'm back with Brian Linzer from Internicola Law Firm with some of our frequently asked questions around the FDD, franchise agreements, franchise law. And I think one of the questions we get quite a bit is that there is a personal guarantee as part of the franchise agreement. Brian, can you address that and kind of what that means for some people? And then if people are constantly pushing back on it, why do we still have one?
So that's a great question, and we get this question a lot, and it's a big part of our process to kind of explain what it is. So basically, the personal guarantee is going to be in any contract where you have generally a corporate entity, could be an LLC, a corporation, S corp, where that entity is going to act as the franchisee. And what the personal guarantee means is that the actual individuals are going to back up any obligation that the entity has that acts as the franchisee. So it could be XYZ Corp is going to be the actual franchisee, and there's going to be Bob Smith and Jane Smith. They're going to be the guarantors, guaranteeing any obligation that XYZ Corp has. The reason why that this exists is because without that personal obligation, the contracts themselves would actually be meaningless, because what was happening was if XYZ Corp was the franchisee and the only one involved with the corporation, all a franchisee would have to do is just pull out all of the assets of XYZ Corp, get rid of the bank accounts, get rid of any physical assets that they have. And then the franchisor was left with suing XYZ Corp, but it was what they call judgment proof. It had no assets. So even if there was a $100,000 judgment against that entity, they were unable to collect on that judgment. So personal guarantees are very common with, not very common, they're actually always in franchise agreements. I haven't seen one without one in a decade. You're going to see them in your lease as well, if your franchise requires a lease. And the reason without the personal guarantees, there would actually be no agreement. There would be no relationship, because everything, all of the terms wouldn't be enforceable. And another big reason in the franchise industry is a lot of the obligations relate to what they call restrictive covenants. So there are non-competes in a franchise agreement, and they want to make those non-competes personal to the people, right? So if you think about it, and a non-compete would mean that you can't open up a competitive business the same as the franchise business. And that's also in 100% of the franchise agreements out there. So having that obligation for XYZ Corp wouldn't make much sense. But having that obligation to the Smiths makes more sense. And at the end of the day, that actually protects the brand, because you don't want others competing in your territory that have the same identical system. So ultimately, it actually benefits the franchisees by creating a strong system, and a system that's able to be protected, really.